Butcher Box right now is offering new members a free grilling bundle, and that bundle is awesome. With your first order,
I don't think the Usman fight for Izzy is a good fight.
yeah, you don't either. I think that's one of those ones that you look at and you say, tailor-made as far as what Usman brings to the game and what Izzy brings to the game. That's a tough matchup, and that's a hard fight for Izzy in the fact that Usman can go to his wrestling and create situations that possibly puts Adesanya on his back. We saw what happened when Blachowicz, was able to get the takedowns against Izzy. I'm not saying that Kamaru is as physically strong as Blachowicz, but he ain't weak, and he's going to be able to do a lot of good work down there. He's got a gas tank. It's a real question of does he fight the fight as a complete mixed martial artist, or does he decide I'm going to show that I can stand up and strike with Izzy? Well, that is the question. You would hope that he doesn't, and he fights the smart fight and says, I'm going to use my hands to get to my takedowns and take him off his feet, take him out of his, the danger zone. But that's one where I would actually, I don't know what the odds would be on it, but I would lean towards Kamaru Usman actually winning that fight.
No, not a chance, John.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I understand. Look, when you're talking about the two best guys in their divisions right there in 170 and 185, anything can happen. And I'm not saying that Usman doesn't have a chance. I'm just saying he doesn't have a chance. I think the speed of Izzy is going to be some big problems for him. And not only the speed, but the reach and the style in which. Here's the thing: no one that Usman has fought is as crafty as Izzy on the feet. It's just there's going to be kicks and punches coming from different angles. The speed of that jab, the combination mix-up uppercuts, all those things. Gilbert Burns kind of wobbled Usman a little bit. And Gilbert's fast. He's a fast fighter. I think he's faster than Izzy, but he doesn't have the reach. Gilbert Burns doesn't have that reach. Izzy can be able to touch him from further away, which is also going to make it harder for Usman to get in on the legs. Now, if they were to fight in the Apex, that might make it a little bit easier for him because there's not much more room to run and circle.
That's not a fight you would see in the Apex.
Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you 100%. But I'm simply saying if they fought in a smaller cage, we saw Stipe and DC in the Apex, so you wouldn't think
but that was because of COVID. COVID's over.
Yeah, they could have done it in Florida. Yeah. So, but you know what I mean? But I agree with you. I don't think that's a fight we see in the Apex. Look, Usman can get to the legs. I think the more times he has to shoot in a 5-round fight, because that's what it would be, the least amount of times he gets it, the less amount of time he gets it. If he doesn't get one or two of those, how spent will he be? I've talked about this for the longest time. Guys like Usman, right? They're great when they're the ones doing the wrestling, when they're the ones controlling the takedowns. And no different than Colby. Colby's the same thing. When they can't get takedowns, they start to slow down. And because it's a lot of pressure. Wrestlers put a lot of pressure on themselves mentally to get a takedown. It's make or break. I've dedicated this much scramble. I've dedicated this much time. And when that takedown slips away, fuck, why didn't I get it? Damn, I had it. Oh, I could have done this. They mentally start getting on them. It doesn't matter how good of a wrestler they are. Look at DC John Jones. He started slowing down, DC did, as soon as the takedowns didn't come. Fuck, he started, and then when he got taken down, shit, that just gets on you even more. And I'm just using DC as an example because that's probably one that most people will be like, oh, they remember, or they want to talk about, or they like, oh, Josh didn't say DC and Jones. So I'm just throwing that out there. Look, there's wrestlers put a lot of pressure on themselves to get these takedowns, and when they don't get them, it starts to wear on them physically and mentally as well. And so I think Usman, if he doesn't get it early, he doesn't get the takedowns often, and then every round starts on the feet, it's going to be more difficult for him to get the takedowns as the fight goes on. And Izzy with the speed, so crafty on the feet, the reach, the range, the power, the size, all of those things will play a big factor, especially in the 4th and the 5th round. Just my 2 cents.
Styles make fights, and it really comes down to Adesanya is a dynamite striker, no doubt about it. But His kryptonite is a guy that can hold him down, and I think Kamaru Usman can do that. I think Kamaru Usman can take him down and do work on the ground. And the other part of Usman is Usman's got a gas tank. He doesn't get tired. The guy can definitely push the pace. I just think, styles make fights, and sometimes, Adesanya is unbelievable. Usman's been pretty goddamn good too. They both have one loss.
Do you look at this fight as the GSP Anderson Silva fight we never got? I look at it; they're very similar.
I do, but I don't think that we'll ever see this fight either. I don't think that Adesanya wants to fight Usman, and I don't think Usman wants to fight Adesanya. I think they got that whole thing of,
Nigerian.
Hey,
they're both Nigerians.
They're not going to do that. Yeah, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with it. But eventually, you look and you go, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like his last fight, if it's Usman's last fight, he's got a lot more still left in the tank. We've already heard Usman talk about, a couple more fights and he's probably done, or he might be done now. He might do one more for a comeback fight. It might be done now. I mean, I think he's looking as a play for more money. But if you want more money, fight Izzy.
There's more money
right
there.
Fight for him, though. A really hard fight.
Yeah, but that hold on. Tell me this. It's those fights that's what you're talking about. Those get you excited as the fighter. Oh, there is some concern there. Oh, I know what I'm facing. I know how good that guy is. That pumps you up. As the champion, I always say it's tough when you never have that, that target to look towards, because you're the target. Everyone's looking towards you. Now you have that target. That's something that you could say, that's a target. That gets me excited. That gets me up in the morning. That puts me in the gym. I just think it'd be a great matchup.
Well, I mean, like with Izzy, he really doesn't have anybody else after Cannonier. He's got Pahea. If Pahea beats Strickland, maybe Strickland kind of trickles in if he beats Pahea. Yeah. There's that. And then Usman's got Leon for the second time, but then he's got Chimaev. That's all he's got. He doesn't have anybody else really. Those are his fights to make. Maybe after they do those two fights, I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
We can only watch Colby and Usman so many times, and we can only watch Whitaker and Izzy so many times. So there's going to have to be a mix-up in there. So if Pahea wins or Strickland wins, you can.
Colby's in that same position as Vettori and Whitaker.
True.
He's got two fights. They were both great fights against Usman, but he lost both of them, and so it's not that they won't put him back in there a third time, but it's tough when you're in that position.
Does Rockhold does he mix this thing up if with a big win over Costa? He mix it up.
If he got a big win, he could definitely, he would be stirring the drink a little bit. He would be creating some motion there that people could look at, and he would actually, in my opinion, jump above guys that are rated. He's going to jump above Whitaker as far as the UFC saying, we'll make that fight. He'll jump above Vettori saying, for the UFC say, yeah, we'll make that fight. He may not be ranked above him, but if you're the UFC, that's a fight you would make over putting Vettori or Whitaker in a third matchup against Adesanya.
Yeah. Do you need to see him fight maybe one more person before he gets the title shot if he beats Costa?
Hold on. If he beats him, there's a difference. You said looks really good against him.
Got it. That's true. If it's a split decision, then that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But if he puts on a great performance and gets rid of Paulo,
so if he subs him,
you could see. Oh yeah, absolutely. If he subs him,
interesting.
Subs him or knocks him out, I can see them putting him there. If he doesn't, it's a close fight. I would say they would want to see another fight from him. So.
Interesting. What if he? Yeah. I can see him fighting the winner. We'll see. Let's see if he gets by. Paulo was like the worst fucking fight that I wanted. It's out of all the guys. It's like out of everyone. Really? Come on. You son of a guy. And he won. He got a fucking hard on for that guy, man. He wanted to. He's like, no, I want to fight him. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. Hey, when you're motivated for someone, get after it.
Butcher Box right now is offering new members a free grilling bundle, and that bundle is awesome. With your first order,